Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm really glad you're here and I'm really grateful. Today I will be talking about marriage and how it goes in my culture comparing to how it goes here in the United States. So stay tuned and hear what I have to say today. So today's topic is about marriage in Congo and marriage in the United States. So the way that we prepare marriage in Africa in general, but in particular in Congo. First of all, I will start by saying that the rule is almost the same in men's mind all over the world. Every man wants to be respected. So that is everywhere. Same here, same in my country, same in every continent. So we did not have the ring proposal in Congo back in the time. We never really used the ring to propose to a woman. It started just recently. Before getting married, we have 3 steps. So the first thing that happens is when the guy wants to introduce himself to the woman's parents or to ask for her hands, he has to bring some drinks. So like a case of beer, a case of soda, or other kind of drinks to start the conversation. Because in an African culture, or mostly in a Congolese culture, we do not start a conversation without a drink. So it's just a cultural thing that people do. And whenever somebody is a visitor to somebody else's home, we tend to offer something to drink or something to eat. And it's disrespectful from the visitor to refuse what is being offered. What it is all about, that first conversation with the man and the woman's family. The most thing and the meaning behind that is for the man to come and tell the parents to not let another man come introduce himself to marry their daughter. So that first conversation, we call it in French is pré-dot, and in Swahili is kifunga mulango. Donc the man comes and say, I'm here, I want to marry your daughter. And that's the meaning behind that, is just close all your doors to anybody else that will come saying that he wants to marry your daughter. So that's what that means. So the second thing after that conversation, we have pre-dot, we have dot, and we have the marriage itself. So after the pre-dot, we do the dot. So for the dots, on the pre-dots, the woman's family would tell the future husband what it would need to bring to the family for him to marry their daughter. So we have multiple tribes in Congo. I might compare that to the way other countries like the US has different states. So for us, it's tribe. Tribe has its own dialect and its own habits or customs. So it depends on every tribe about what they want from the man to bring for him to be able to marry their daughter. So after a few months of the pre-dot, the man will bring what they ask him to, which is called the dot. And what do they really ask for? It depends on the tribe, like I said. For what I know, there's a tribe that in the old time will ask, this is an example, will ask something like, okay, give us 10 cows, 10 goats, 10 lamb, and a bag of salt, the mother clothes and the father's clothes. So it will bring that to the family. But nowadays most people do not ask for that anymore. They just convert it into currency, so you just bring money instead. For them, it was to have something that will be productive and can stay in the family for years and years. So it's like from, it's not really selling the woman, it's all symbolic, but it's not, it's cultural, and there is a meaning behind all that. There's a small funny thing that people do at the end of the dot conversation is the bride will go hide like in the bedroom or whenever they choose to, and the groom will ask to have his wife now because he gave everything he needed to. In between of, you know, all the dots and the wedding, the family will start getting their daughter ready for being a wife. And what do they do to do that? They try to teach her different things. They try to teach her how to be a good wife. I mean, like sexually, how to be, how to cook different kind of dishes. For some tribes, they even take the woman to different places and train, like real training. So it will be like a class. There'll be days with different things to do so she can just be ready to get married. Because some men, when they marry somebody and they get to their home, the wife doesn't know how to cook or doesn't know how to make the bed, then for some tribes, the man has the right to go back to the family and say, hey, what kind of daughter did you give me? What kind of wife did you give me? She cannot even make the bed, you know. He has kind of the right to complain about that, but it's not that often anymore. But it used to be that way. For me, before my marriage, mine happened here in the United States. So we tried to do almost everything, but you know, not the huge how we do back home. So we just my husband had to do a little bit of everything, so you know, we can mix the two together, like the African and the American way. And the day, but for me, they didn't do a whole training. The day before the marriage, my mom and her friends and her sister just took me in the bedroom and tried to give me all kind of advice that they could about being a mother, about being a wife. So, and some of my aunts from back home just called. They tried to prepare me, but it's not just like the old time anymore. And for the wedding, we have the courthouse time, and after the courthouse, we have the church. And most people do both. It's not like some places here you do one or the other. For us, we do we go to the courthouse, we sign the papers as married people, and we have guests, and after that we have like a small party, and after the party then everybody leaves and then come back afternoon to get ready for the wedding in the church. And usually the party lasts like hours and hours. It can last the whole day, and people will start like going to their home like at 5 a.m. in the morning after, you know, everybody's really tired. So we really like to have huge and long parties. So we don't just do 2 hours parties. So after getting married, what's really expected from both of them? So what's most expected from the husband is to provide financially for his family, and what's expected from the wife is to take care of the child, the kids, to take care of the house, and to take care of her husband. But there's only one thing expected from the husband, which I think it's a little bit, it's unfair, because after having a kid, or even before, I feel like it's a lot and it can be overwhelming for the woman to do all that. But it depends on what it brings in the home. If it brings peace in the home for the wife to do everything, then go for it. But I just personally, I just don't agree completely. But the other thing is, most families in my country, middle and upper class, have maids. So the maids help a lot. The issue of having a woman only doing everything around the house is not only in Africa or in Congo. It's also here. I was reading a book. The title of the book is How Not to Hate Your Husband After Kids. The beginning of that book most shows how mothers get really, really overwhelmed after having a child, and that the man doesn't understand or doesn't see how it can be overwhelming, because when a husband does just a little thing, they think they did a lot around the house. No, not because a husband just took the trash out in the morning means he helped around the house. No, you have to do more. Again, it depends on how family decides to do things. For me, I just feel like it's unfair to let the woman do everything around the house. That is our culture regarding marriage. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm so grateful that you were here with your beautiful faces. And please click the button down there that says subscribe and share the video. See you next time.